Okay.
Cloud!
So, when last we saw the Trollskull Six, you had left the Lion Road and begun your journey into the high Shiver Peak Mountains. I should say the wild Shiver Peak Mountains, far from any well-traveled roads. It took you a couple of days to reach the high pass, which treks between two noticeable peaks called the Hammer and the Anvil. You succeeded very well on your navigation through the wilderness, but at the end of this, I believe the third day, as you made your way through the pass itself, a very frightening large bird erupted from a peak overhead and with a snap of its wings caused an avalanche that nearly claimed two of your party. Some of you saw it briefly, the bird, fly out over the region that you have been searching for, the Frusenfells, and you saw it dive, presumably on the hunt, and it has now disappeared into the distance. You have uncovered the two members of your party that were swamped by the avalanche, and you find yourself now staring across a low or lower plateau, kind of stretching out beneath you, rolling frosted hills covered by heavy coniferous forests. You can see the path, or a path rather, descending from this high place down to wind in and out amongst these hills, and far in the distance, as the sun begins to make its way down towards the horizon, the curved, stony dome of Svanir's dome, where Drakavalsigholt can be found. We'll say it's about 4 p.m., so you got a couple hours of daylight left if you wish to press on.
Can you repeat whose hold it is? Drakadel?
Drakavalsigholt.
It's Draka Holt, Mary. Obviously, we all have that nailed by this point.
If you
I think I have this written down.
Holt, you can't be in the party at this point.
You don't say Dragalaka Ding
Dragalaka-ding-dong.
I literally phonetically wrote it down, and I still am having a hard time.
I wrote the other one
Would
down.
make a good drinking game. Just see how many times you can say it in a row. Have to take a shot every time you mess it up.
Draka
Drink.
I feel like I can get drunk without games. There's enough fooling around. Ryan's sending it again, like we're gonna understand.
I put it phonetic this time.
Draw.
Savag. Draw.
I left the D out of it when I spelled it.
Drakavalsigholt.
Drakavalsigholt.
I'm gonna wake up in a cold sweat.
This is from an old Tolkien fan.
Oh hell yeah!
And it literally just means dragon blessed hold.
That's what I wrote down.
Draka is dragon, Valsig is blessed, and hold is hold.
I want to learn how to say bless you. What would you be? Do you know?
I don't know. I off the top of my head, I don't remember if this is Icelandic, Swedish, or Danish.
I tried to learn how to say I'm an international businessman in Icelandic, and let me tell you, I still can't pronounce it. And I tried.
You're not an international businessman.
Go through the entire alphabet.
Because I knew you were lying.
They did know. Their language is so hard.
So, you find yourself standing at the high place, the exit of this pass, looking across the Frusenfells. Trollskull Six, how would you like to proceed?
Sabrina, you okay?
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm all right. A little scratched up and bruised, but nothing a night's rest won't take care of.
Eagle Petrie, I guess, is gonna fly up and grab Birdie because I think I placed him on like a.
Oh, I dimension doored away.
He dimension doored to where I was.
Yeah.
So are we all like regrouped now? Because I remember I used my beak to get them out of the snow.
Yeah,
it's quite kind of you.
Clawed and dug, and a couple people helped, and yeah, you were
and the other three just watched.
and together now.
Colin was like, I mean, like, we can't really do anything. As you fucking ran at the speed of sound away. I thought we had it in the bag. I was like, no, fuck it, Alexa.
Why we moved 100 yards? We'd be fine.
We
Nope.
were so fast. And then we weren't.
And
Inches
not
are
fast
big.
enough.
Brianna spits out a little bit of blood, but honestly, I didn't take any damage. I think it's just ready
I
to go.
took some, but all right.
A wee bit. I made those strength saves, I think. No, I'm good. That was unexpected. Haven't had that happen before. So
I can mark that off the bucket list.
yep.
Yeah, we're lucky you're
The
okay.
list for the bucket. Totally know what that is.
Does anyone need a break or some healing?
Oh, just
Nah, let's wing it.
ego boost, maybe.
Like-
Yeah, very good pun. Getting
So I
better
guess
with these.
that's our destination over there. Do we want to get closer before we rest for the night, or
What time of day is it?
Oh,
And
4
how
p.m.
long?
We've got a few hours.
I think that is
You got
wise.
about 3 hours of daylight left.
and about how far would we say it is of travel? Do we have like a guesstimation?
Looking out across the terrain below you, if anyone would like to guesstimate, you can make a survival check.
Just
No,
tonight.
I cannot.
Start out making rolls
Nope.
not tonight.
Not me.
Are you sure it's
Oh,
not
it's
just a
okay.
straight intelligence check using all my knowledge of just distance?
You can use your intelligence modifier.
It
And
didn't.
if you're proficient with survival, you can add your proficiency bonus.
Well, that would be a negative.
So it did not roll in Foundry, but it did roll a 24. I will fix it so that it does roll in Foundry. Oh, that's cool.
My intelligence is 21.
As you're sort of pondering this, looking out over the valley, like trying to kind of do some calculations, Brina steps up behind you, just looks over you, and is listening and nodding, and very rapidly just says, "Yeah, after we camp tonight, if we travel a little more, it'll take about a day tomorrow."
This avalanche knocked something loose.
Hmm.
Also, I live close, in the mountains, so I know what distance is. But
Yeah. Is
Do you
there
know all the mountains?
every mountain that has ever been in existence. Name a mountain
That one. And I just point off to the left.
that is Matterhorn.
I thought they said that one was the anvil.
No,
Didn't they say no? Oh.
Anvil's that one.
Oh,
The hammer next to it, and then the one next to it is
Matterhorn.
The
so.
one that matters.
Oh,
that
did you
makes
say Hacksaw Ridge? Fucking
No,
nice.
not Hacksaw Ridge, but that's very good. Okay, I did lie. I don't know a bunch about mountains, but that was kind of funny for 30 seconds. Let's get on the road.
It's a
No
good
road.
detour from this concussion.
Yeah.
Is there a place that, I don't know, looking out, looks like it might be good for us to camp?
Has there been any great places for us to camp, Galatar?
Well, preferably somewhere that we would have a little bit of shelter in case we run into another one of those worm-like creatures tonight. Or lizard-esque
Like to be a
creatures.
bit away from the big bird. Gonna
Yeah.
put that out there. He looks like he could eat all of us for
I'd like to get a
Lunch.
little distance from all the things that can kill us.
So would the trees be good cover then?
I mean, if there are trees ahead of us, probably, or just some jagged rocks that we might be able to take shelter underneath.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
if we
assuming
find
no
a good
trees.
place, regardless of what time it is, we just stop for the day. And then if we don't find a place and it becomes the end of the day, we just stop there.
It's not
Nothing
a bad
has
idea.
ever gone wrong when we've done that, so I love it. I think it's good. I
Probably
don't care.
better safe than sorry. We don't want to be exhausted tomorrow.
Yeah.
Keetri's gonna stay as a bird as long as she can.
Fuck, I forgot you were a bird.
Yeah, I'm a bird. I guess because she probably has, I don't know how long it's been. Maybe she's only been a bird for like 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
She's gonna use like, I think she's got 4 hours, so she's gonna stay that way for the rest of the day, I guess.
Absolutely. So, you guys start making your way down the far side of this high mountain pass. couple hours go by, and you see that the sun is now really kind of dipping down close to the horizon. It's getting close to dark, but with Keytree in eagle form overhead, kind of scouting out the land, you very quickly find the smoothest paths that take you on this descent. You pass through fields of tumbled boulders and chunks of snowy ice, but it rapidly gets, you wouldn't even really call it warmer so much as just a little less cold. The wind kind of dies down as you start to make your way down this very steep descent. And about the time that the sun begins to set and the sky glows with the familiar oranges and crimsons of sunset, you find yourself entering a heavily snow-laden forest amid the rolling ridges and hills of this region. And you guys rolled pretty well when you were doing your skill challenge yesterday. So you do find a suitable campsite tonight that kind of offers you some shelter, both from the elements and from prying eyes.
Good for us.
I cast Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, as always.
Okay.
I do love that.
So while we're eating like dinner, like we've made camp, we're eating, Kala, it's like, so we're getting a little closer. I feel like maybe we should go over our strategy again.
Mm.
Good idea.
What was
Yeah.
that? Did we ever have a strategy?
No, we had a good
No.
plan.
We like to pretend a lot.
No, I thought we had. I
Our
don't.
initial
I'll be
plan was
honest.
the ability to like exhaust your brother, but then the whole dragon thing happened.
Oh,
Right. That's not really gonna
Yeah.
fly.
That is so disappointing because that was a pretty sick plan.
Bertie had a
It
great
was.
idea.
It was like many of my great ideas. They are blocked
Spoiled?
and spoiled by outside evildoers.
those meddling kids and their dog.
Exactly. And I would have gotten away with it too, is the thing.
If it wasn't for your little dragon. You
Well,
meddling.
Paula, did you have any ideas for the strategy?
Well, I mean, other than Halvar, he's a special case, but I just think we're gonna have to kill everybody.
Well,
We're like a 5-day hike from civilization without prisoners. If we're taking them with us, it's gonna take even longer. They're gonna try to escape every chance they get.
Can I
There's
float
only
my?
6 of
Oh,
us.
never mind. It's gonna float my siege idea again, but we have no way of blocking them in. I remember that now.
And we don't have any siege weapons. We don't have
I was
char
thinking-
tanks,
use
siege
some-
devourers.
I was
Yeah,
just
we
gonna
got
use
nothing.
some boulders. Maybe try and get some rocks in there. I don't know.
now
It's not a
hear
bad
me out.
idea.
Hear me out.
Just
These are just average people. I mean, what if we can
Well,
like
Some of them are above average.
they're average Norn.
Some of them.
Well,
are
that's what I'm saying. Is you know,
average either.
maybe like what I saw in my dream was not like a natural connection. So for maybe there's a way we can somehow sever that connection between whatever is influencing these people and you know, I dare say cure them. Although I'm not sure if that's the
I
I
Do we
would
think
love
that
that.
there's when you say natural connection, do you mean like there could be something physically present that we could like destroy? Like not the dragon, I mean like somehow I feel like the dragon's probably somewhere else, but like he's
I
using something magical in the place to like keep them like, under his influence.
I think they decided to follow the dragon. They made a choice. They're not under. I mean, they're under the influence of this thing, but they chose that when
Yeah.
they were
Yeah,
normal.
we heard the story.
I was
I'm
going
not
to
wrong.
say that Kala and I could perhaps stealth in and try and suss things out, but like there's nothing. I feel like it's such a large place we wouldn't know where to go.
That is kind of my worry. We have absolutely no idea what to expect when inside. And I do agree that they made the choice to be here, but I don't think that they made it knowing that there would never be an escape route or an option to leave. And to be fair, they are dicks and they are in too deep, but if I could not, I don't love slaughtering every person on our way inside. I think that just might not be sustainable.
Well, I mean, do we have any alternatives?
Well, we
That is
could
a great question.
try and have part of our party just go into maybe talk with Halvar, like have Brina kind of be the lead, and then those of us that could sneak could kind of be waiting in the wings just to try.
Do we
talk
think
with her.
that there's any
Holy
chance for
shit,
negotiation?
So hold on. I will say we have talked several times now with Halvar, and he did not seem particularly receptive to
What ab-
diplomacy.
Yeah, I told him that I wanted to rip his head from his shoulders, and
right.
Wow.
Is there
it
any
was
way
in a
that we
fit of rage.
Okay.
is there any way we could perhaps lure a few of them out and then take care of those people and just keep, instead of us going inside, get them to come to us?
Or Bertie,
Maybe.
did you mention the dragon like whispered to you? Do you think you could pretend to be under his influence, like act as though you want to accept him? You're a very good actor.
I think he would actually.
I could.
While Bertie is a good actor, there is a very
I
real possibility.
no. I think he's onto something here, guys.
No, Bertie.
You really don't look the part.
I think this
Well,
is
not
guy.
yet. No, I agree, Carla. Not yet, because I'm not in costume. Obviously, he watches with his cape of the dandy. Oh well, no, he's wearing like his Yeti. He's wearing a Yeti cloak.
Oh, right.
You're like a cosplay version
he
of it.
takes it off for a minute. He's still got his cape of the dandy on underneath. And although wait, no, if he puts the cape of the dandy changes whatever he's wearing, right? Okay, yeah. So you watch his cape of the dandy. He like, you know, it's kind of like this gruff, you know, mountain, like kind of what he saw in Holbrack of people wearing, of like kind of like gruff mountain clothes. He kind of shimmies up his hair a little bit.
Standing 5'4".
Yeah,
You need
a
beard.
can that put on like 200 pounds and like 3 feet?
You watch as I cast disguise self on myself, and I turn into a like.
Really short Norton.
You can't change your body type.
Nope.
There it is. I was like, can you change?
Like a
Well,
12-year-old
you can add a
Norn
foot, I
boy.
think.
No,
Right?
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
he
can add a
changes.
foot.
He changes his appearance to be like a bit buffer. You know, you see like a little couple little muscles start to, and like he's like a short guy, but he's kind of like beefy, stocky now. You see he's got like a little scar running down his face. He goes, "Who's it do ya?
I don't.
You gonna talk to me like that, huh?"
You look like a
Yeah.
child.
You might be mistaken for an
He grows a
minor.
foot. He's
Yeah.
now 6 feet tall.
You are still a child in my eyes.
I'm
Baby Norn.
He looks like about a 16-year-old Norn boy.
who's asking?
Oh, that's kind of prime real estate
Minor
for
trying to join
radicalization.
them, Bertie.
Brina says, wait.
Bent.
Take a step back.
They
Do a
probably
spin.
need to sign a waiver for you, so
Me do a spin.
Do a spin.
You watch as he does this like little like like
A ginger
His
swirl.
swirl.
ballerina like on as he points the toe and everything.
That kind of ruined the illusion. But I mean,
Yeah,
they
they're gonna
recruit
kick your
young
ass.
men.
I feel like I could do
I
it
mean-
if called upon.
They will definitely kick your ass. but
What if how tall is Halvar? He's probably really tall, isn't he?
I am 7'11", and I am on the shorter end sometimes.
Okay, so not gonna work. I could stand on my floating disc and have a really long coat or something.
Okay, here. We just
Wow.
put you on Alexa's shoulders and you just fucking walk around. Genius plan, smart boy.
I would be willing to do that if we needed to.
I
So
love
my
these planning
point
sessions.
was like, we can't take prisoners was basically what I was trying to say.
I'm on
I
board with
think you
that.
make a very good point with that, because even if we take, I don't love this at all.
We could take
Also,
a
like-
prisoner.
What would happen when we take them back? I mean,
Hmm.
White Bear's gonna kill him, right?
Mm,
I don't
But
know.
also necessarily taking them prisoner doesn't mean they're out of the influence of the dragon, and that could just be putting
No.
a lot of potentially dangerous people back where they shouldn't be.
Well, maybe then our goal is if they don't continue to try to kill us, we could potentially negotiate at some point, and any that continually try to kill us, we may just have to.
When I was
Defend
in,
ourselves
when,
aggressively.
when I was in Lion's Arch, as a youth, I was in and out of something they call the Scared Straight program.
you.
I think we could try to just scare them off.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys understand what like a religious zealot is. And
Oh,
this is like a cult, and it's not
I'm-
gonna work.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
and I
not
guess
the
they are under
stereotype.
the influence of a dragon who's pretty powerful.
Again, can we try
they
and
like
lure
it.
some of them out? They have to have some sort of way of scouting or keeping a perimeter. Could we not just like
Okay,
take on a few of them at a time so as to not overwhelm ourselves?
Yeah, I
Here-
mean that's probably a good idea.
here are
I
my
could go
thoughts.
and be some bait. They probably haven't seen a pretty girl in a while.
You're a beautiful woman, Alexa. Here are my thoughts. I do not want to kill everyone. That might just be because I am, a bit sentimental per se. But Bertie put it in perspective for me where, yes, Halvar is my brother, but they are all someone's brother or son or father or whatever. And so that makes me want to at least try to give them a chance. But I think the first thing we need is information. And so maybe pulling if we set a distraction and or trap at the mouth of the cave at the dome, we say, oh no, look, it is a beautiful little Astoran woman. And then 4 of the stupid boys come out and we hit them over the head with big rocks or something. They pass out, they wake up, their eyes open, and we're standing around them like this. And then we ask them questions about what the inside of the dome is like.
Bertie, are you capable of charming one of these gnome?
Bertie is capable of charming anyone, let us be honest.
Obviously.
Oh no.
Flashbacks from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation movie,
Yeah.
when that little dentist elf is standing outside the Bumbles lair going oink oink oink. oink.
I mean that's a fair point. Now what is to say I don't go in as in disguise and then just charm one of them and bring them outside?
That is
That's
fine.
what I'm saying. Like if you could magic.
we don't have to do a. Yeah, I mean, like if we want information, we could send Kitri in as a bat, a bird, a ball, I don't know.
I kind of like the jackalope distraction idea.
Mhm.
It's good.
What's a jackalope?
That's what I am.
Alexa.
My furry friend on me.
Oh
Her
yeah.
her little onesie.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like an enormous rabbit with a head.
somehow I didn't realize that's what you've been wearing this whole time.
Yeah,
Huh.
something is calling to me about Donnie Darko. I need to go and find out about it.
I'm
Yeah.
literally obsessed.
All the fur merchant had in a size so small. It's a Norn baby onesie. It's like a big rabbit with antlers. And
It's
I mean,
so
I,
it's
fucking
like a-
hilarious.
I know what a
Oh,
jackalope
okay.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Petrie doesn't, and she also wasn't there for it, and clearly hasn't absorbed that Alexa looks any different than she normally does.
Oh yeah.
Kichu's like, yeah, wait.
You can just see like the little popped like purple collar with the eyes on it poking out from inside this onesie.
I'm literally okay. Um okay. I think the first step is information gathering.
Okay.
Be that we bring someone outside or we send one of us in. Maybe both. Kichu, you chirp around and see what is happening. I don't know.
Yeah, if what Kala says, I mean, I can always try to charm one, but I don't know if we're going to be able to intimidate a religious zealot very easily.
Oh, well, and I guess the possibility of charming them may be difficult if that dragon was able to reverse your own spell on you.
Nah.
A lot of them are just boys, but a lot of them are boys
And
who have
boys happen to be my specialty. So.
Okay, Bertie,
Yeah, Bertie might have more chance or luck with them than I. This is a
listen.
boys' club after all.
A lot of them are
Mm.
boys, but a lot of them are boys that have become monsters, and I
So-
don't think there are a lot of hope for them.
So the ones that we probably cannot save for the most part, those are the ones with the crystals coming out of them.
The iceberg, yes, I
Those are the
don't-
particularly dangerous and tough enemies.
They have been granted the gift of Jormag, so as a result, it seems like they are a little bit in too deep. So.
So those may be the ones beyond our saving. Though I agree with you, we should try to perhaps save as many as we can. I don't want to just slaughter an entire group of people. I mean, if we have to defend ourselves in order to protect other people, we will. But
Well,
I mean,
here's
I
the
will
deal.
say no, but we still don't have any other alternative right now.
yeah, you're right.
You are right, and I told Bertie this the other night, if it is a question of my people who have chosen to not be my people anymore, or you all, I know my answer. And so
Let's
if
just
we have
say
to do it, let's do it.
we did take them prisoner. And we get them back to Holbrook. What do you all think is gonna happen then?
Do you actually know anything about the justice system in Holbrook? Like, what would the punishment be for treason? Murder?
I think it's cake and candy.
So
Like a swift pat on the back?
if you were to capture members of the Sons of Svanir who were part of the cell that had threatened the lodge and bring them all the way back to Holbrook,
Let's indulge in this fantasy.
There's a char saying Blood Legion prisons are tiny. Because they just kill everybody.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know
super
about
scary.
Norn, but you know.
I mean, it is a thing of
mean-
honor.
in some ways they would be like it would depend on the severity of the acts that they had perpetrated. There's some punishments, like most commonly you would be exile. You would be shunned and you would not be able to avail yourself of Norn services in the mountains and be at risk of death. But since these guys kind of do that anyway, they don't really have a prison. So it would probably be
Fuck.
hanging or tie you out to a stake for the beasts to get you, or maybe use
But
you
we're
as
leading
bait
them
for
to their death.
crossworms.
One way or another.
It does sound like it.
You are,
Sounds like their ultimate end will be at the spike.
you are
Well, and
correct.
do we know that this? So we know that they've burned villages or killed people. Like all of them, we can. Okay. So then,
Here
we
is
do
what
we have to do.
I think. If anyone says, no, please don't kill me, I'm actually cool, then we talk. Everyone else, they have made their choice.
Then we look them really deep in the eye and make sure that they're on the up and up.
That is your all's job. I'm a soft and intimate young woman, and I trust everything that moves. Sensual. Sensual. I don't know what is happening with my accent this evening. I'm having a lot of difficulty.
It was a really cold day. We spent a lot of time in this.
My lips are numb.
All right, so it sounds like we're going to try and catch one, and then otherwise defend ourselves aggressively.
Yeah, I guess.
Are
if
we going to lure them out of their dome of Dragonakalakada?
I don't know if it's gonna make much.
Yeah.
sense.
We can get as many as we can.
We might be able to find a patrol.
Yeah. It's true.
True, and we should be on the lookout for them. I think we are close enough that we should be worried about
And
this.
if we do get there unnoticed, I don't think the idea of sending Kitri in to do some advanced scouting is a bad one.
I think some information gathering about what to expect inside would be nice, but
Because I mean, the less we have to kill, the better, I think.
I mean, most everywhere we have gone so far, we have had a bit of guidance, but
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know. I am nervous. I am.
Did we do any amount of scouting outside of their hold to try and, I don't know.
Yeah,
They
it's an-
probably have a very good. They probably have a good lay of the land. We should at least familiarize ourselves with it.
well, this is like an old, like ancient cave system, right? There's probably a way in or two that's not the front door,
True.
Probably
Very
true.
true.
right?
That's why we said we couldn't just block them in exactly.
But
Yeah,
They
there's
could
additional
get out
ways.
other ways.
Yeah, going through the back door is always a great idea.
Agreed.
Always top tier in my book.
Right, so we try to find a back door. I go in and suss it out. Maybe we,
We'll just dive right in.
yep.
Make sure it's big
You're
enough.
pervert.
You don't want to make sure it's not too tight or anything.
I throw a snowball at Birdie
Complete
and
without
Alexa.
preparation.
I accept the
Question.
snowball.
When we say it's like a day's trek ahead, would that mean like we have a one whole more day? Like we have like this night, tomorrow the day, and then that night to like get there. Like we're gonna camp tomorrow night essentially because we're gonna get there and it's gonna be bedtime.
Yeah, I guess that was my question as well.
Estimated that about sundown the next day, you would be closing in on this location. Whether you choose to try to find a place to rest before that, or if you just go right in, it's up to you.
I probably will need a rest before we get there, because
I think
if
that
we're
would
gonna keep an eye out tomorrow, I'm gonna burn some spells.
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea. We could try and make camp maybe an hour away just to avoid the sentries as much as possible.
It's always wise to go in well rested. And who knows, maybe we run into a patrol on the way there, we scoop them up, we give them a wedgie and we say, hey, tell us everything you know about the dome and where your secrets are.
Hmm. Okay, but
What's a wedgie?
What is a wedgie?
Yeah.
Bertie, come here.
No.
Bertie.
You think I don't know what a wedgie is?
I know you. Hey, Alexa, come here. I'm not doing it to college. She can beat
You
me
didn't
up.
really think that one all the way through. You assumed everyone didn't know.
I mean,
What a wedgie
I was
was.
just
I don't
going
want a
to
onesie wedgie.
No. Bertie, do a wedgie. Bertie, do a wedgie.
I'm not gonna do a wedgie today.
Your
no.
cheeks are so cute,
I
though,
mean, you could
Birdie.
probably
And I'd
just
like to
tell
keep them
me.
that way. Thank you.
It's just
Yeah, but
they
that
pull
doesn't
your
look fun
they
if you
pull
do.
they pull your pants up real
Your
far into your,
your
tushy.
breeches, yes.
Your breeches, you
Oh.
take them, you pull them
Oh, do
up,
they have
and
that in the
goes
dream?
in your butt cheeks. Is that an experience one of the
Unfortunately,
first
it
porn
seems,
had?
It's Savaria. They've had their fair share of.
Horseplay?
I don't even know. Bullying, is that what it's called?
Well, that's unfortunate.
So some of the shorter Sylvari have been mistaken for actual youths before.
Oh, that's rough.
Somehow gotten shoved into a middle school.
Hey, speaking of butt cheeks, did you and that girl end up hanging out back in the
Bro.
Pale Mother's house?
What?
Mother's house.
I was like, shit. I was like, Landrews. No, that's not right.
The grove.
Yggdrasil.
Did I?
Her house.
Sorry,
That
what?
The one girl from the bar.
Oh yeah, I totally left with her.
Oh, did you
Let me
guys?
walk away, right?
Yeah. Did you kiss?
Oh, we had a nice time.
K3 is so cool, guys. And she knows what a wedgie is. Kala, do not let anyone give you a wedgie. Your whole world will change.
Don't let them put your face near a toilet either.
I'm
Oh.
not sure if that
Oh.
works if you just wear armor. Like, does it have to be like?
That is
Oh,
how
that's
I
someone-
started wearing
Oh.
armor.
We all realize Kala isn't wearing pants.
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe we
point
should
there.
set a watch and continue the talk in the morning.
Yeah, I
when
don't know
our
how we
episode
got
is finished.
here.
All
You're
right.
gonna have
well,
some weird
First
dreams
watch.
tonight.
Yeah. I don't want us to not get arrested because we are worried about wedgies.
Kiki will take first watch.
Take disadvantage on your perception roll because you're
Galper will
thinking
take
about
fourth
wedgies.
watch.
Okay.
I'll take second.
I'll
Okay.
take. Oh yeah, you take.
You want
third.
to take third?
No,
I'll take.
no. Yeah, you take third.
Okay, I'll take third.
Okay.
I'll take
Tree.
fourth.
You're taking first,
took
aren't you?
first.
Okay. Okay. No, we're good.
Yeah, one,
I wasn't
two,
sure if you guys heard me,
four.
so.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, you all settle down for the evening. You manage to find a space that there are a couple of trees kind of blocking view, but also a couple of large boulders sticking out of the ground at angles that make this particular location a bit more sheltered. Keetri, go ahead and roll your perception check for me.
A 16.
And your passive is 19?
18.
18. Okay. As you are kind of making your round, keeping an eye out, crunching through the snow as quietly as you can, you start to notice the wind is picking up. It's getting a little blusterier, and the stars are beginning to be slightly obscured as clouds kind of move in to cover the sky.
It's just the weather, changing the weather?
Seems that way.
Okay.
It is no longer a clear night, but there is plenty of moonlight to see, and at least for the time being, you see the clouds are moving in, but they haven't fully obscured everything, so you notice nothing untoward. There aren't any eyes watching you or anything like that. So then you go to wake up Kala.
Mm-hmm. It's just a dark night out. Maybe, I don't know. The weather's changing. It's getting colder, so maybe grab an extra cloak or something to keep yourself warm.
All right. I should be fine.
All right, make your perception check. Oh,
12.
is the music insanely loud?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
somebody's like
I think it's
speakers are
coming
bleeding
through, yeah.
through. Like somebody's music coming out of their speakers is bleeding through their mic.
That might be me. It's kind of,
I think it might be.
Yeah, if you got like
You should
headphones or
have
something.
There's a tab in Foundry that looks like a music note, and you should be able to turn the volume down if you need.
I don't know if that changed the volume or changed where I was. Okay, I think we're good.
I don't hear it anymore.
All right, let me see if I have my headphones here.
Take your time. So with a 12, Kala, you notice that the wind is starting to pick up. Clouds, like Keetri said, have kind of rolled in. It's a little darker. Don't notice anything out of the ordinary. No sounds disturb your watch. No creatures approach. Then you go to wake up Brina.
Yeah.
Okay. Sabrina, as you take up your post, go ahead and roll your perception.
Get a wedgie, Brina.
20. Okay. You also notice the cloud cover now even becoming increasingly thick. You no longer see the stars, and what moonlight there is just a very dim light, mostly obscured by thick clouds. the wind has started to pick up, and it's pretty nippy. Like you've lived in the Shiver Peaks your whole life, and it's cold up here, but this wind, like this is a winter wind. Go ahead and make a survival check for me. You're muted.
Oh, what? I have never been muted before. I talk incessantly. That's 16.
As the winds begin to pick up and the thick clouds cover the moon, for a brief moment you kind of get the feel of the clouds from the backlighting provided by the moon, and you recognize this as the signs of an incoming blizzard.
Nice. What I thought. We're.
It's still a ways off, but these signs are very familiar to you. Other than that, nothing untoward happens. You go to wake up
Galatar, I believe.
Galatar.
I say, hey Galatar, good almost morning. Just want to let you know that the blizzard is probably coming in. So bundle up, and I walk to my bunk and go to sleep.
Okay. I will move a chair near the entrance, but not go outside, and just have Ibu sit on top of the tent and look
We're
out.
fucking Ebu, dude. It's freezing his little owl butt off. Oh, I guess he's a fake creature. He's fine.
Yeah.
That'll probably be okay. Also, he's much better at seeing and hearing than me, so I mean, you
Fair.
probably want him.
That's fair.
Ibu flies out to the apex of this tent, tucks his wings in, and like buries his beak in his wing. And every couple of minutes, he turns and gives a good 360 view, as only owl heads can. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. I
I
think
guess
this is
you do
correct.
this with his. Yeah.
Is that the? So did I do it right? I don't know how that works.
Keep the highest. Yeah, it's 2d20. Keep the highest.
Oh wow! I rolled a 2 and a 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't see the rolls, but they are not good.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
there you got to
not
click.
good.
I remember now.
Can't trust Foundry dice anymore.
Yeah, it is dark and gray when you get any sort of light, and the wind is frigid. The thing that you notice the most is anytime you take over Ibu's senses, is just this biting wind. But you do notice, because it's hard to miss, the sort of wet splat of
Great.
snowflakes against Ibu's face as he kind of turns and looks around. It's not yet heavy snow, but it is starting to precipitate just a bit.
Okay.
Other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. There are no creatures, no encounters, and a cold, gray, dismal dawn comes over the mountains. It is cold, it is blustery, and the snow has begun to fall.
Fuck this snow.
Hey guys, it's snowing really hard outside.
Yup.
Well, how hard's really hard? And I go outside the tent.
Oof.
Today is going to be a bad day.
Is it smart to travel in a blizzard, or should we try to stay put?
I mean,
Or do you
here's.
think the blizzard would disorient them? So maybe it's a good opportunity to attack?
I think
If
the
anything, it
alternative
would
is we
be-
sit here and it gets worse.
I mean,
Mm.
we have crampons, we have snowshoes.
Looking at the weather, like if I go outside and look around, can I tell how long this might last?
How
bad it's
can
gonna get.
Keytree
Same, if I could tap in on that as well.
Oh, hey
Can
everybody, you
I-
coming out too now?
Are you gonna druid craft it? Or druid whatever it is?
Oh, that you have Druid.
can I druid craft to see the weather for the next 24
I
hours?
forgot all about that.
I can finally use it!
Right?
So sick, I didn't know there was
Druidcraft
a
does work that way.
thing.
So
Yeah, I forgot that you used to do that
several of
every
you
day, Jimmy.
file out of the tent, and with your experience living in these high climbs, you start looking around, checking the sky. You glance at the horizon, seeing if you can find any sort of break in this cloud cover, any sort of lighter area that looks like it might have thinner clouds, and you don't immediately notice anything. It's just a wall of heavy gray cloud. And then Kitri steps out and puts her hand out in the air, and you watch as the air above her hand shimmers almost like heat waves, and then forming over it, this sort of illusory space, just about like a foot high and maybe 7 or 8 inches wide. Uh, you watch as these sort of spectral, ethereal clouds start twisting and roiling at the top, and then you just see like little streaks of fast-moving snowflakes.
So this doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. I bet the Norn who are part of the Sons of Svanir are more adept and used to the snow than every single one of us except Brina. So I don't
They've
think
been
that would
looking
give
for a
us any
while.
kind of advantage either getting there or fighting them.
I agree.
Well, I just mean it's hard to see somebody coming in the midst of a blizzard, but it's also hard to make it places in the midst of a blizzard.
Should we try to maybe move, not quickly, but like just make what progress we can today
Well,
towards
Yes.
the hold?
will we be able to find this kind of cover further down? I mean, I want to probably have as much cover as possible in the midst of a blizzard.
I'll keep my eyes out today. In earnest.
Please do. And I do think we need to move because I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And
Okay.
I'd rather not be snowed in here.
I've got a
Um,
weird sinking feeling that this isn't natural either.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Oh, you think it might
Seems
be the
really
drag?
convenient.
Does this feel kind of supernatural? Is this like a spooky storm? Or is this just like, man, this is a conveniently terrifyingly timed blizzard?
Like what time of year is it? Like would Brina be expecting a blizzard this time of year?
Is there like a dragon-shaped cloud or like
Right? Is there an angry face looking at
Okay,
us?
so you're asking a lot of questions that will
Maybe.
require different skills.
what can I do for you?
Brina, as you're kind of looking around, you can either make a nature check or a survival check to determine whether or not anything about this seems unusual.
That is a 23.
Okay. So it looks like most blizzards. There is no strange supernatural shape to the clouds. It looks like it's going to get pretty intense. It's kind of like, when you see like a really nasty storm system coming through, and you can just tell like how weird the cloud shape is. Like it's going to get pretty hectic. But you also know that those tend to hit hard for a while, and then eventually they do kind of drop off. Like it may still precipitate afterward, but the worst of it would only last so many hours.
Mhm. Okay.
If anyone else would like to make either an Arcana, if you're proficient in Arcana.
Ooh, I can make an Arcana check.
19.
An 18 with plus 13.
I know, you have such a fucking ridiculous
Jesus.
mod.
As you two kind of stand behind Brina and are also kind of looking at the sky and the horizon, trying to find any hint that there is something unnatural about this, you kind of confer with each other a little bit. Galatar being a bit more practiced in the
His
lore
18
of
matters
such
more than my
spells.
19.
But between the two of you, no, it seems like a normal condition for this time of year.
I guess just that weird gut sense that we're close to danger.
Yeah.
Storms are dangerous, and this is great timing. So
For reference,
Should we try
like mid-March, and you're in the high snowy mountains.
high sea
Okay.
season.
Great time.
Go
So should we
figure.
try and move as quickly as possible today and just make camp at the first sign of like incredibly heavy snow so that we get everything set up before the blizzard
Yeah.
hit?
But we should tie ourselves together too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Don't
so
get
nobody
lost.
gets lost.
It's not
yeah,
a bad idea.
I'll appreciate that.
Mm.
Every character I play, I have to get tied down to something. My other character, I fell off a dragon.
Akala
Jesus.
starts pulling out rope, and she makes like the head start, chain with everybody. Like all the little kids holding
Head
on.
start chain. That took me
A
a
little
second.
head start chain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like we're gonna
Take
cross
care.
the street. So
Mama Kala, keep the
Everybody
little
find a
babies in
buddy.
line.
Lead us through the blizzard.
It was actually quite wise.
Oh god.
Yeah, I say let's go until it gets like bad, can't see visibility, and then hunker down.
Okay.
Maybe get 4 hours in.
So, you continue making your way down these very steep, kind of descending slopes through this region, and you find yourself in the Frusenfells proper. The sky overhead obscured by thick gray clouds, and that bitter cold wind starts to pick up as though it's following you down from the high places. As you trek your way through the heavy, fresh snow, the clouds grow darker and the wind ever stronger. And sure enough, before you know it, you are in the midst of a blizzard. So, as the snow fall gets thicker and the wind lashes harder, visibility is dropped to about 30 feet. Even though it's light out, you can't see further than that. You also, the howling of this wind is so intense as it whips through these ice and snow-laden trees that you can't really hear anything beyond about 100 feet out from you. It's sort of like being in an icy hurricane. Da, 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 da. Reading all the different aspects of blizzard weather, you find it a little bit difficult to see as you're kind of like trying to stare through the stinging wind and snow that's constantly sort of assaulting your eyes, unless you are wearing goggles. And those of you who are spellcasters, as you're kind of plodding through this frigid wind and the deep snow, the exertion of it all, and the slight pain of the cold, you find that you have difficulty concentrating your thoughts. Your thoughts are a little muddled. So casting spells would be very difficult, but it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Con checks.
Do I have? I do.
Hey Ryan.
Yes.
I tell you what I'd like to do during like as we kind of start trudging through a blizzard is because we did take a long rest, didn't we? I never
Yeah,
clicked
you
that
just
button.
finished one.
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
click the button.
What I'll do is as we kind of start trudging through this blizzard, I will cast freedom of movement on myself to hopefully like make this easier going, you know?
Okay. So there are two options before you. You can attempt to find some place to shelter and sort of hide yourselves from this storm until it blows over, which will add time to your journey, and you'll get there much later in the night potentially, or even the next day. Or you can attempt to travel through it. If you're going to travel through the blizzard, someone has to be designated as the navigator, and they will be guiding you all.
Mama Kala's not here to stop us. Let's go.
And I took the road less traveled by.
I could navigate. I have good survival.
I can still hear you.
Hans says, you no. I have
I would probably vote
a
to
decent survival.
find somewhere to shelter.
I don't think
let's try the
sheltering is a bad
dismount.
idea either, though.
And I can give us some cover until I can get the shelter put up. I could provide us about 10 minutes of cover if I can focus enough.
It's probably not a good idea to walk in all this snow.
Yeah, let's hunker down.
Okay. Does anybody see a place that would be good?
Make anyone who wants to, as you're making your way through and pushing through here, looking for some place to find shelter from the storm, anyone who wishes can make a survival check.
Ooh,
6.
Birdie and me.
I rolled a natural 2.
I mean, I guess I should
Ooh.
roll.
Oh, Alexa.
I shouldn't have rolled.
Wow, stark contrast between the people who would die without the modern comforts and the people who would not.
I just didn't even bother to roll. There is no like
Right.
make it one.
Between Kala and Kitri taking the lead,
Well, Birdie and I try not to distract.
Paula and I are
Birdie
the
and
bear
Alexa-
girls of the group.
This is true.
the Bear Girls.
Oh,
Ew.
Did you say you're tying yourselves together?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we've got our little
So
kindergarten
as
leash.
you guys are pushing your way
Welcome to
through the
the
snow,
group.
Kala is basically like dragging the party forward as Alexa and Birdie are tugged from the rear, pointing out like, "Oh, that might be something over there." Kitri is up with Kala, scouting ahead, trying to find a place that's sensible. You do manage between the two of them to find a small curved bit of rock that sort of juts up from the ground with a couple extra trees around nearby, just enough to make a bit of a break. It is cold. It is somewhat painful, but you get the sense that the place you have found is safe enough that you're not at risk of dying from exposure. Galator, if you want to try to put up your tent, you just need to make a DC 10 con save.
could I? Well, it's only a DC 10. It'll probably be fine.
He
Uh,
says.
last
Say famous
word.
It'll be
word.
fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Do it.
I
Let the dice
can I-
decide.
can I go into Bladesong just to
Oh.
put up a tent?
My mistake. I actually read this incorrectly.
DC 20 con save.
So you can cast your spell.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'll put up
In
the
a
tent.
in a blizzard as you are traveling, concentrating on a spell while exposed to it requires a con save at the end of your turn to maintain concentration.
Like fighting in a blizzard would be very hard for a wizard.
Well, I knew there's also, isn't there like a weather effect or something where to cast a spell you do have to make the con check or
At
something?
least not from the notes that I have.
Well, yeah, I don't know what effect it might be. But yeah,
Good to know.
it was like every round. So if it was like a minute-long spell, you had to make 10 con checks or something.
Well, that's to maintain concentration on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. You would be to do a minute spell. Duh. You're
Yeah.
concentrating on casting the spell.
Makes
So,
sense.
you guys kind of hunker down. You all sort of band together, especially Brina and Kala with your larger bodies like blocking the wind physically. You are able to put up the tent. I assume you do it as a ritual.
Yeah, it's the only way I have it prepared.
So let me say this is very strong wind.
The thing I was going to ask actually about setting up the thing was, could I, before that, cast Wall of Force to make a 20-foot diameter sphere around us to provide protection to make it easier to set up the thing and like get it anchored in? Because the tent is not concentration, and would take.
It's not, but when you cast a ritual spell over 10 minutes, I think it uses concentration.
Does it
Yeah.
for a 10-minute ritual?
You're concentrating
Okay.
on casting it the whole
Yeah.
time. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Did not know that was how that worked. Never mind.
And you'd have to make a con save every round of that casting.
Well, I was gonna ask
like-
if you'd have to make the con save if you were inside of the protection of the Wall of Force, because then you're not getting blasted by the snow and the wind.
That's true. I guess if it was like a dome around you. Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't matter if the 10-minute ritual casting requires concentration, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. You
Okay.
do manage to get it set up.
Mhm.
It is incredibly windy, and there are bits of ice and other things like getting kind of flung through the air. This is like hurricane force winds. So I'm gonna say it's a very low percentage. I'll roll percentage dice to see if there's any damage to the tent
Oof,
from
okay.
the environment.
Okay.
So like 10%.
Okay.
Saw his eyebrows do a thing. That
Right,
can't be
I
good.
mean-
Yeah, I know, right?
It's one of those things where when you're using percentile dice, it's weird when you get a 0 on one.
Because it always, there's so many different ways to
Because
read
the-
it. I
So
keep reading
triple
those.
0 is 100.
Yeah.
So a 90 and a 0 is not 100, it's 90. So this
Yeah.
is, I actually rolled a 10. It's a 10 and a 0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the
So
10 takes damage.
Yes. As you guys are in it, we'll say like let's see, there was okay. So about 3 hours you get to kind of rest comfortably, warmly. You can hear this constant whipping of the wind
There's
outside.
oh, it's awful.
You at some point hear the screeching cry of a large beast. Some of you who I forget who was on. I think Brina might have been on watch that night when you saw the large frost creature kill the Dolyak. You hear
It was
that sort of
teacher, yeah.
hunting cry, and then it's gone. So you kind of hunker down quietly in this uncomfortable, almost silence, if it's not for the horrible howling of the wind. But after about the third hour, there's a sudden as part of the tent tears away, and the whole tent just collapses in on itself into a pile of materials. Its spell is broken.
How bad is the cut on the tent? Like,
Does the spell specify a
it
damage
just says you
threshold?
get thrown out, I believe, into the space around the tent. Let
Yeah.
me double check.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has to, like, it doesn't require a damage number to the tent itself.
No. It's if there's any tear, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I?
This is just like one big tear. It's probably about 4.5, 5 feet long.
Could we have? Is this? Are we considering this our long rest?
Not anymore.
Oh.
Oh, not now.
Yeah.
We're
no,
out in the snow.
You
Yeah.
had about 3 hours of rest, so you could have taken a short rest. But now the tent is suddenly gone, and you are dropped out on your ass in like 3 foot deep snow, and the wind is just like whipping around you.
Guys, the tent is torn. I won't be able to put
Oh.
it back up for the rest of our entire.
Where's Alexa? Does anybody see her?
Swimming to the
Like,
top.
yeah.
It's
Like,
cold
pull her up
all
by
of a
the
sudden.
ears.
What's going on? Whoop.
It's like
So
a
yeah, I don't have.
rabbit in a
I was
hat.
gonna try and like cast like create bonfire.
Didn't we bring those extra tents? We could put
Yeah.
those up. I
Yeah.
mean, they're not going to be heated like the pavilion, but
any
Didn't we
shelter
bring
is
an
wise.
extra pavilion tent though?
well, that's why I wanted
don't
to
think
buy one,
that's-
but
Yeah.
they didn't have any. So
Oh, they needed the special.
I need
fucking
100 gold
heathens.
pieces of silk.
You do have several other normal tents. And
Could we
Yes.
perhaps string those together in a fashion to which
Conserve body
couldn't
heat.
string them together, but because of your both rolling over 20 on your survival check, this sheltered dell you've managed to locate, between that and the depth of the snow, you are able to kind of dig down even further out of the wind, set up your tents individually to where you're all kind of pointing your entrances toward each other, and the edges are kind of touching, and you're sharing warmth back and forth
Hmm.
kind of between them. The snow begins to kind of pile up over top of you, but you're able to string some of the rope through the packed snow above and kind of form a weird makeshift in-ground igloo of sorts.
Petrie will try and if there's space between the tents to like help heat everyone up, occasionally cast like create bonfire for a minute, maybe help thaw some of those
We're not in the tent. What are you
No.
doing?
in the space between the
Between.
tents.
Peter, my
imagine
tent's on
she
fire. Oh my
control
god.
I
it.
like the
Like-
fire, Keetri. It's very pretty.
So
Bertie just
make
got
a-
burned
So
alive.
weird.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me. This is a concentration check.
Hmm.
For myself.
Mm-hmm.
Does she get advantage or anything because we're in a sheltered environment and we found good terrain? No.
We're in a
Ah.
fucking
8.
tent.
So you do manage to conjure a bonfire, and it lasts for about 12 seconds before the cold and the biting wind just chill you, and your hands no longer grip the way they need to form the shape of the spell, and you can't concentrate on it.
Sorry guys, I guess we'll have to really hope no one gets frostbite now.
Well,
Oh,
down this
no.
far
We've
below
got
the snow
warm
level,
stuff.
you're good.
Yeah,
You
we're
feel
keeping each other warm.
Keetra's
Cozy
just
in
gonna
there.
curl up in a ball as close as she can.
I get close to Kala.
Lots of body heat sharing. What happens in the snow dell stays in the snow dell.
Oh no.
Birdie's gonna wake up spooning Galatar.
Calsar gonna be very concerned.
Cozy up,
So
kiddos.
this goes on for about 2 more hours. The blizzard itself lasts for about 5 hours today. And eventually it slacks off. The wind, still windy, but very much, it almost feels like the calm before a storm at this point. The snow continues to fall, but once the wind dies down sufficiently, you all sort of raise your heads up. The snow is now 4 feet deep around you, but those of you who are able can see over, and there is just a clean, pristine coat of white snow covering the hills and the trees around you.
Good thing we bought those snowshoes, huh, guys?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't own any, but sure.
But you can turn into a
bird.
bird, so
Yeah, that's what I figured. Or I could just turn into like a bear, or I don't know.
yeah.
Be a ferret again or whatever that was.
I might need a piggyback.
That's fine.
Come on, hop
Alexa,
on.
hop on. Oh yeah, you could start on Brina. I was like, you could go on the mount if you wanted to, but
Oh, you can if you want. It is up to you. Your horse is cool.
I did not care.
Hop on, Alexa. Here we go.
I
Whee!
climb up on Brina.
Got you like on one shoulder, like a dad with their 3-year-old.
So
I don't know how old kids are.
has visibility at this point, because it stopped with the storm at the moment, we can now see past the 30 feet and we can hear things again?
Yes, yeah, it's
Okay.
not as loud. The visibility is still a little limited because it is snowing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not immediate area around you. You can see for a ways.
What
Do we
time
want
is it
to-
now?
Yeah.
This would be probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I'm thinking.
Can we get an estimate of how much further we have to go
So
to get?
you've lost 5 hours. So, because that was the blizzard's duration. You can travel for
Didn't we lose 8 hours? Because weren't we in the tent for 3 hours before it ruptured?
and then
Mhm.
2
Or was that the
afterwards.
5 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
5 total. So 3 before,
Oh,
2
okay,
after.
gotcha.
Yeah. So if you traveled for 2 before then, or we'll say an hour before then, 5, you can travel for about 2 hours before you need to rest. And you are tired.
Yeah.
Even just sitting there in that kind of cold and that weather was exhausting. You don't need to roll for it because you did find a safe place, but you got about 2 hours
Yeah.
of usable light left before you need to bunker down.
Maybe we should just stay here.
I mean, that
Horrible
may be
boy.
the smartest decision.
How do we have any idea how far away we might be?
A little
Well,
under a day, I guess. Probably
we-
closer to 7 hours now.
Yeah, if we had like
Okay.
8 or so hours of traveling, we only really got 1 in today.
You guys.
I say we
All
make.
right, I want to do something dumb. just for some
Yeah.
giggles. I am going to cast fly on myself.
Ooh.
Okay.
You're gonna get snatched by a fucking bird.
Thunderbird's gonna get you.
Fuck, why'd you gonna say that?
It's like that video where they like
Alexa's not
release
thinking that, though.
they were like release the little field mouse and the eagle comes down and just like grabs it. It's gonna be Alexa goes in the air, Thunderbird gone. Never see
You're all
Alexa
gonna be
again.
like, well, shit.
Oh,
You guys
damn.
know that's what he's rolling for.
I know, you all made him think of
Alexa
it.
survived a blizzard only to be killed by a thunderbird the next day.
You
There
look
she
like a
goes.
tiny bird. You fly. Like you're gonna get your shit rocked, but I'm here for it.
Anyways,
Gone.
Those Thunderbirds, do those have the stats of like rock?
Rock, probably.
Fuck me, dude. Let's do it.
I'm gonna go up about.
Flying in a little onesie.
Oh yeah. Flying jackalope.
Caught
Oh,
a
Jesus.
jackalope.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
Somewhere.
so you guys watch as the jackalope onesie rises from the ground into the sky.
Alexa.
Do you
I
have
just-
the hood up?
Oh,
Like
damn
hammers
right.
up? or
Well,
is
of
it down?
course. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm
Right.
wearing it, I'm committing. I'm gonna
Oh
go
my
up
God.
like, I don't know, like 100 so feet, and just get a perception. Just look around.
Sure. And you can make that with advantage, I think, because you're robes.
19. So what do I see, like, just in the general vicinity?
No. Everywhere. It is a thick,
Fuck.
like 2-foot thick coating of fresh snow over the snow and ice that was already there. Everything is white. And there's snow falling thick around you, so it's just like white snow to white falling snow to white gray clouds as far as the eye can see. At this point, because of the falling snow, I would say you can't even see Svanir's dome.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go back down. And yeah, it's bad. All bad. Lots of bad. More snow. I can't even see where we're going. So yeah, we probably should just stay put.
Well, if we go to bed right about now, maybe we could get an earlier jump on tomorrow.
Yeah,
The snow stopped.
frankly, I am
Can't
exhausted.
benefit
so-
from a long rest twice in 24 hours.
The
I
dumbest
forgot
rule
about
of
that.
You
D&D needs to
Yeah.
get more real, okay?
got about
So
Yeah,
2 hours of time
have
left.
depression, sleep 18 hours a
Yeah.
day,
Come on, D&D.
eat ramen noodles,
You want that feat.
get
The depression feat allows you to benefit from a
You
long
can
rest.
benefit from a long rest twice in a 24-hour
Can
period.
that be a custom house feat? We can take characters. should get rid of-
However, your charisma is permanently like -1.
What are you guys doing?
I'm here for it.
Oh shit.
Well, I guess we'll just hunker down. Is that what we want to do?
Birdie, why don't you sing us a song?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
guess we're
sure.
staying here then.
Oh, but Kitri, can you still do your thing that makes
Yeah,
it
if
quiet?
this is a long rest, right?
Well, it will be.
It's a
eventually.
short
We'll be
rest
in,
at
like,
least.
It'll be in like
2
6
hours.
A lot
hours.
of
Probably-
short rests.
You've got about, I think, 4 hours before you can take a long rest.
Do you know, like,
Alright.
cardinal direction-wise, how to move in the? Like,
You know
would
that
we be able to
the dome was
navigate?
to the east of you.
Okay, I don't want to make it worse.
Well-
I mean,
If it's a short, it doesn't matter whether it's a short or long rest. I just can only cast this.
yeah.
It doesn't say during a short or long rest. So if we're taking like essentially short rest here, I
Well, it'll
can.
be ultimately a long rest. I was just asking, like, because if Birdie's gonna play music, it might just be a good idea.
oh, I've
to-
got a 3-hour set.
Oh,
we're
it
fine.
doesn't block sound though.
Oh,
It only does
Mm.
fire light.
oh, it's a very useful.
Remember that's why we had to be quiet when
And the
the
bird.
But we
came
weren't.
in. Good times.
so I can still cast it and we still get increased stealth and perception while we
Well-
hunker down.
You could just wait until we go to bed for the night if it's not going to do anything about sound.
We can set the watch during,
Yeah.
just do while we hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, the
All
Suns
right.
have more than likely hunkered down as well, but
So while we're kind of hunkering
Jay
down, then,
chillin'.
I have a couple things I want to bring up. So I've been thinking about what we can do to find a way into this this kind of cave type thing, and I've got 2 ideas. The first one being is I have this this horn of alarm. So if there's like a patrol going around or like a guard at the front gate or front door or something, I can blow this like 600 feet away and only he will hear it. So it might be like he's drawn out to hear this, and I can charm him. Because we really only need one.
can we give him wedgie?
Sure. The second thing is if there's like, a group. Now, this one's a bit more exotic, I'll admit. I'm partial to it for obvious reasons. If I can find, some guards or something and put on my best show face and play them a little ditty, a little song, then I could charm them that way. And that particular influence is one that they idolize me. They hinder anyone that opposes me, and they will do everything in their power to help me. So
Is this
that
spell
one-
called stand person?
That one is particular. That's what my enthralling performance. If I can convince them to listen to me play.
Does
I mean,
that control
For a
last?
minute, right?
that particular one, yeah, they have to listen for a minute. So if I can convince them to listen to a song, how often do they experience the arts out here? Not very often.
Maybe you could just
I
play
have
it
to
without
imagine.
them talking
You're
to you.
so brave, Birdie.
Thank you.
I
Thank
am
you.
with you. I am not saying no, but let us just role play this for a
How
second.
long will they be?
Okay.
Oh, I am a guard. I am the son of Svanir. I'm so strong and who are you?
Well, hello. I'm Bertie the Bard.
He's already killed you. You are already dead.
No,
There's
because
no
you didn't give
reason.
me a chance. Let me try again.
Okay.
Do you think they're
Hello,
just gonna
birthday
let you
bar.
walk up?
I think they would let me walk up, and I would say,
What business do you have?
"Changing lives."
No.
I'm here to
should
bring.
start
I'm here
with,
to.
like,
I
I'm
would
here-
have killed you for that
I'm
one.
here. I'm here to bring. I have been summoned by the great dragon to bring music to your.
What if you're not
your
supposed to
tribe?
know about the dragon, Bertie? How are they gonna know what you're supposed to know?
The great dragon has visited me in my dreams.
That's not a lie.
It's not a lie. That's the truth.
I guess you could also tell them that you're friends with Halvar or something.
Yeah, I mean, I
Until
think
Helvar sees him and is like, "That's the fucker in my dreams."
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, eventually they're going to try to kill us regardless.
Can you
So-
run while you're playing music? If you just they chase you for a
And can you
minute.
play music and hyperventilate at the same
run. It's just like with the flute, like.
Have you ever tried to sing and run at the same
So
time?
just some food for thought. Just wanted to throw it out
Ambiance.
there. Ideas. Just
I think the direct approach is probably the best approach.
I agree.
I'm going to go with the whistle, though I love the enthusiasm.
Well, disagree, but
You can play us a song and we
Yeah,
will be
the
enthralled
whistle
by your
is probably the best.
Alexa's on my team. Okay, good.
Do you have to
don't-
know them
Wait,
or anything to use
what?
the whistle? Or
I
just
heard
freestyle?
one vote from Alexa for the enthralling performance plan.
No, I don't think that is what she said.
That's just what I heard. I'm just saying what I heard.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
I heard somebody
Uh,
else
I
say.
think Alatar had a question about the whistle plan.
Oh yeah, do you have to know them or do you just have to see them?
I don't even have to see him. It's just a creature of my choice. So I guess I have to know.
That's
Kind
it.
of like I have to have seen them.
I
Yeah.
mean, if we can
Yeah.
scout, then shouldn't
That's
be
what I'm
much of a
saying, yeah.
problem.
And you can do that from 600 feet away. So how close do we want to be if Belty's blowing the whistle?
I mean, how far away do you have
605
to
feet
charm
away?
them?
I'm personally-
Charming
I mean, let's.
30 feet.
Okay. Well, they'll probably come to you.
Indeed. Well, that would be the same with the performance, though.
They have to get within.
Just okay. Best case scenario. Walk me through
okay.
this.
What
I
if
walk
we,
up-
what if we
scenario.
do
The
both?
best case scenario,
Both
there's
plans.
okay. Best case scenario, there are say like 3 to 5 guards who are big music fans at the front gate, but
Mhm,
haven't gotten a fix out here in the mountains for a long time. And I stumble across and like, who is this guy? I'm
mhm.
like, I'm lost, but I'm a bard. Do you all like music? And they're like, yeah. It's like, can I play you a song? And they're like, oh my God, are you Bertie the Bard? And I start singing. They're crying, and within a minute, they're totally on my team.
Yeah, let's go with that plan. I don't see how it
No.
can do.
Yeah,
That's
Totally
what I'm
your
saying.
team.
I
can
thought it
totally
through.
see it
Like,
happening, yeah.
I thought it
Sarcasm
through,
doesn't-
and I think it's ready.
I'll
It's
tell you
ready
what,
for
you
prime
do-
time.
You do your enthralling performance, and the rest of us will sneak to ambush them in case
Oh,
they try
God.
to kill you.
I am frankly enthralled right now. So
That's what I'm saying.
there are
Yeah.
no flaws in this
Yeah.
plan that I can see.
Yeah.
Me neither. That's what
Although-
I'm saying.
Kala, I will say this: I like the both plan.
We start with the whistle, draw them out, tie them up, and just make them listen.
Make them listen.
Make them listen. It is like a mental wedgie.
Sure.
Oh no. Okay.
Kala, one of these days I will give you a wedgie. Do you
Oh,
want
okay.
pants?
Does pants, or do you mean like, I mean, I have armor on, but does pants mean underwear?
I feel like we
Norn?
talk about wedgie too much. I'm sorry.
DM
None.
agrees.
Maybe we give the people tomorrow, we worry about the wedgies using them on the enemy as like a tactic. But for now, we just, go to sleep and get a good
You know,
night's
some people
rest.
say pants and they mean the outer pants, but some people say
Mm.
pants and it means the inside pants.
I mean the
I
inside
don't
pants.
know.
Oh hell yeah.
That's why Char don't have wedgies. We don't know what it is because,
Cause no inside pants.
yeah,
Oh,
There's no pants at all?
nope.
Oh.
No outside pants.
Well, I'm. Let's, she's wearing pants.
There have been so many crucial details I missed.
They're made out of leather.
This whole
It's
time.
armor.
I
You know,
copy.
covered.
It's PG-13 in here.
All right. I learned so much. That was empowering.
I think humans call it going commando. I don't.
All
Char
time.
do that.
We do call it that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that actually the word commando just seems to kind of fit Char, so I can't say I'm surprised.
True.
Makes sense. So do we want to
He said the humans call it going commando. They
Yeah.
just, for Char, it's normal. They don't
Yeah, we
call
don't-
it anything, Galatar.
No, I'm
No.
saying like the fact that the humans call it going commando seems to work well for the chart because the commando seems like a word that you know what, Kitri, don't worry about it. One day you're gonna get it. Just hold
I
on to
don't
that.
think this is one of those things.
And just give it a couple more years of existence and you'll get there.
I'm with Kitri on this one.
So should we set the watch for tonight?
Fucking 20 minutes have passed talking. we got
you-
4
you
hours
got-
to
about the
go.
wedgies for like 4 hours, I think.
So
Really
as,
have.
as you guys are killing time before the sun sets and before you can take your next long rest, is talking and planning your next day and the assault on the stronghold, is that all you do? Birdie, are you singing or are you guys doing any sort of other prep?
Oh, I mean, if they want a song, I'd of course always provide.
I'd like to hear what he's been working
I
on.
could
this one.
send some messages.
Oh yeah, tell you what, I've got I'll pull out my glower and start playing this kind of like, some horn music. Just
horn
some low
music?
melodic
Some horny music.
so some low melodic brass for the evening.
So yes.
Or like some low melodic ass.
God.
Oh, God.
Ass heavy
That's a
evening.
different kind of woodwind.
I actually do
Next
hate this
level.
game.
The worst.
So as the
What are we doing?
sun begins to wester and it kind of dips behind the peaks of the mountains, you do finally see an end to the snowfall. And as the sun dips below the level of the cloud cover, as the blizzard forming clouds have now started to kind of move out of this region at day's end, as the sun dips below, there's like a single moment where this shaft of bright red light streams across the sky and it hits the mountain pass behind you, bathing everything around you in the snow in a kind of orangish red glow. Kala and Kitri, with your passive perception, you guys have finished talking and Birdie is playing a lovely tune. The two of you notice out of the corner of your eye a figure standing in the snow about 150 feet from you. It is a very large shape. It's about maybe 9 feet tall. It is broad-shouldered, humanoid, standing on 2 legs. It has what looks like a large metal disc covering its stomach that is affixed with like a thick leather belt around it, and its legs are covered in a mixture of leather and metallic plate armor. From the disc upward, it is bare-chested, and you can see thick white fur that covers its skin, and its head distinctively shaped, Brina, like you have seen the snow bears to the far north.
Yes.
He's standing with what looks like a hefty wooden staff in one hand, the other hand affixed at his shoulder with what looks like some sort of woven netting or sack kind of slung over one side, and he's just standing there watching. You don't know
How
how
far
long he's
away?
been there. About 150 feet.
Kala will stand up
I fucking teleport next to him.
and just kind of like
Guys,
wave.
there's someone outside.
You hear Kitri say this, and then Kala stands up and starts waving. Alexa, do you do that?
No, sorry. I meant like she was gonna run there. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I
No.
just want to make sure. So
No,
you
yeah,
guys,
fair.
you hear
Shut
Kitri give the
up.
warning, and you see Kala wave. And this figure just sort of stands there motionless. It does not move or acknowledge.
The Norn's relationship with the snow bear is just kind of like chilling, like coexisting for the most part, question mark? Or is it a,
Make
because we
a
talked about
history
the
check.
Jotun and we talked about the brawl. I don't know if we talked about.
We talked very
me,
briefly
talked-
about the Kodan.
Yes. These
Make
are
a history check.
the same.
Would I have seen one of these before? Probably heard of them, but not.
Make a history check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the Jotun?
This is the Coden.
Does this have 2 legs?
Oh, the
It's
Kodan.
standing on 2 legs.
I have
There's
here.
so many
yeah.
ones we talked about.
Brina, like you've
Oh.
heard of
3.
them, and Kala, from the Norn that you know,
Mm.
that you met during your time here, like you've heard of them. Typically, you don't see these this far south. They are from much further north. There are some settlements within a few days' ride, and Air Stagalkin mentioned she was on her way to meet them, but no, neither of you have met a Kodan.
Worship a spirit named Coda, 8 to 9 feet tall. Don't cross them. Is the note that I have written.
Should
Yeah,
we go?
Captain Icebreaker told us they
Introduce
don't
ourselves?
fuck with fools, so we should be careful.
Yeah.
Do you think they're lost?
I
Uh,
think he's just watching.
Maybe we're just near one of their encampments.
Maybe we just let him come to us.
Yeah, perhaps it would be a bad idea to approach if they can be problematic people to deal with.
But also, maybe it is rude to not introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Why do we know? I don't know. Never mind. I don't
Hail and
know.
well met, my dear.
Do you want me to go? I'll go. I'll go.
Well,
out.
Brina,
I'm
you're
gonna.
what
I'm
type
gonna.
of
I'm gonna
person
start.
with.
Birthday.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
start to walk, and he looks back.
Oh,
Takes
I-
another
Don't
step.
fuck with fools. Bertie,
I like mall walk behind Birdie, like
Okay.
Not
So-
too
so-
close.
yeah, slow and steady. All right,
So are
Birdie.
Brina and Bertie going to approach him?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I can guess.
I'm gonna follow behind them by a few paces.
I'll stay put.
I'll stay by
Like
the
deliberately not looking threatening. I don't have my sword out or just like.
I
What
don't
do you
think
say there, bud?
I tell
Kitri
you-
and Birdie do
Action.
not look threatening at all.
Right.
I tell you what I'll do is kind of so as we approach this being out of my bag.
Don't try and charm this
I'm
bitch. No, you are just naturally charming. You don't have to try and charm it.
I'm going to pull out which I have in my inventory, a small sage plant.
Oh my.
And I'm gonna kind of walk up to him, and I'm just gonna meet in the middle, and I'm just gonna set it on the ground, and then take a step or two back, and I just kind of motion for him
You're
that
not
is.
fucking stupid.
Brina, are you just walking up towards him, or are you stopping when Bertie does this?
I think she just stares with her mouth open at Birdie for like a solid 3 seconds. Hello. We are travelers. Do you want to warm yourself by the fire? We mean no harm, just passing through. Do they speak common? I know.
That's why I went with the
Don't.
plant.
No, not with that history check. You don't.
Yeah, you're right.
Eh,
That's why I went with the universal symbol of friendship.
I gesture at the plant like,
fucking-
Petrie just waves, pokes her head out, and is like, "Hello." She doesn't say hello. She just
I don't want to fight the snow bear. I bet he's so fucking cool. What's the bear in the
Does he look at the
Great
plant?
Compass?
What's he
That's
doing
what-
with this plant? I set this plant on the ground for him.
Yeah, what is his
And
response?
I motion that this is for him.
He is motionless for several seconds as you guys awkwardly flail about. And eventually,
Say it like that.
as you kind of like still yourselves in confusion and maybe a little bit of embarrassment, he turns his head very slowly to the right and left and gives a long look to Kitri, Brina, and Alexa. And then he turns his gaze further over your shoulders back towards Kala, and Galatar and Alexa. And again, like he pauses for like 6 or 7 seconds. And then he takes 1 step forward slowly, 2 steps forward, moves his staff, 3 steps forward, still very slowly, 5 steps forward and plants his staff, stands upright again, and kind of looks down at all of you and says in common, with this voice that resonates through the air but is also kind of breathy, almost like not quite a whisper but a almost like a sigh, and yet there is force to it, and you can feel the voice as it kind of vibrates through your space. And it says, "Good afternoon, children of the mountain. I am walking slowly. Are you lost?"
No, just waiting out the remainder of the storm. We'll continue on our journey tomorrow. When you say you are walking slowly, do you mean you are literally walking slowly, or is this your name?
Kind of turns its head just a little bit. Yes.
Cool. Cool. I am Brina. These are my friends. We are travelers, and we walk probably like a normal speed most of the time.
Your people do not travel these hills often. What brings you and your companions this high into the mountains?
Would you like to sit down first?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of shuffle back as he
Reaches down
treated.
very slowly and sort of slides his netted satchel off his shoulder, and you can see now it is a tightly meshed net of sorts, and it's got a couple of good-sized fish in it.
Ooh.
He sets it down in the snow, and then he very gingerly, with his massive clawed paw, scoops up this sage plant and gives it like a hard look. Like he just kind of like you almost wonder if like he's nodded off standing up, because he looks at it very still for a good couple of heartbeats, and then he brings it close to his face. Takes a deep breath. I do not know The scent of this plant. From where does it come?
Well, that's from Lion's Arch. It's called sage. Very good for cleansing your auras. Um, it's good energy. If you can burn it and kind of cleanse a space just of negative energy.
I have heard the name of this city from your people, and he points to you, Brina. The children of the mountains often speak of it, but my people do not journey there. You present this to me as a gift.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Might I use your fire to cook my fish?
Please do. You can meet the rest of the gang, and we can tell you a bit about why we are here. And I'd
Very
like to
well.
learn more about you, walking slowly.
He takes his staff and in a very not startling, but a very like kind of rapid, very fluid, smooth movement, he sticks it through the netting and kind of whips it back over his shoulder while he still has the sage in his other hand.
Well,
And he
that was
takes
not
a couple of
slow.
very slow steps towards you in the direction of your little makeshift camp.
Right.
The rest of you
Guys, so
see
this
your
is
group
walking
returning.
slowly. He's gonna be cooking his fish with us for this evening. Please welcome him.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Walking Slowly. This is Galatar and Kala and Alexa, and I am Brina, as I said, and this is Bertie, he's the sage boy, and this is Kitri, she can be a bird sometimes.
Gives you a long stare, Kitri,
Uh-oh.
and says, "Greetings, little sister. I have met some of your kind, though few. You are welcome in these mountains."
Ooh.
Oh, well, thank you.
Allah. The Char are known to us. Keep your peace, and you are welcome as well. He looks at Alexa and just kind of shakes his head a little bit. You, I have heard stories of. Your people, anyway.
Well, I'm glad our reputation precedes us.
Yes. I have always wanted to speak with one of the cave dwellers.
Well, it's been a long time since we've been in there.
Indeed. Perhaps if the balance is restored, your people might return to the depths. And he sits down and he starts to like untie his little net and pull out fish and just lays them on the snow.
Would you like some other meat? Kala will pull like some dried meat out of her bag. I've got pork and beef, some turkey.
He just puts one massive paw up politely and says, "No, thank you. I will eat what I caught."
I'll take some of the pork if you just,
Yeah.
if it is, oh, thanks, man.
Please, be seated, that we may speak.
Sure.
And as you guys kind of form a loose ring around a central area, he extends one hand out and puts it on the snow. And even from his sitting position, he's about as tall as Birdie. And he plants his staff in the ground beside him. He closes his eyes and leans forward, and he starts to sort of mutter and chant in a language that none of you know. And you see that little runes on his staff begin to start glowing. They kind of light up in a sequence, rising towards the top of the staff.
Ooh.
And it's almost musical. Kind of like if you've ever heard like a Native American song, but it's very bassy, like very deep voice. And eventually the entire staff is sort of glowing with these yellowish runes and sigils. And the chanting stops, and you see him lift his hand from the snow, this massive bear-like print left behind, and he waves it over the air in front of him. And as he does, he exhales. And you all feel noticeably warmer.
Ooh.
Lets go of the staff, and it remains upright, as the runes kind of faintly pulsing, almost as if flickering with an inner fire. And he begins to cut and sort of dress the fish, and he says, "If one of you could make fire, I will cook these, but the warmth of Koda's flame will keep us safe."
I
You can
cast
create
create
fire.
bonfire. Actually, no, I can also just use Druidcraft to like light a campfire. So either one. I guess I'd use
Have,
Druidcraft
campfire
because
material.
assuming that we have something, I don't know.
Do
Because
we have
create
anything like that?
bonfire would have to. I probably actually wait. Hold on one second.
We use the
create
remnants of our
bonfire in,
fucking
like-
tent.
Oh
Red.
no, that just needs like fixed.
You can you can take a minute to gather some, or
Yeah.
you can cast your create bonfire and concentrate on it for a minute, and then just like recast it if you want. It doesn't need fire to burn, but if you want to continue the fire longer, you would need to put some sort of wood or fuel or something in it.
My tinderbox
I
is
can
at
grab some
home. Does
firewood.
anyone have any?
Kala
have-
will get up and just start looking for firewood.
There's plenty of trees
I'll
around.
assist
Okay,
as
I'll
well.
just
Back with like an armload of it.
okay.
Same.
Takes
Yeah.
you about 30 minutes to kind of comb through the nearby stuff and find stuff that's dead and dry. It's been under a lot of snow, but after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you come back with a good stock, and Kitri's spell can easily activate a good-sized fire. And now there's, in addition to this sort of casual warmth in the area, there is the much more intense bonfire heat of a real fire, and it is a welcome change.
While Kala is grabbing the firewood, I want to ask him about Coda, just for like a brief explanation, I guess, of who Coda is.
Let me grab my notes. He's cleaning his fish, and you ask the question, and if a bear could smile, it's a strange kind of toothy grin,
Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever heard.
but he continues kind of flaying the fish and raking the guts out with his claws and just like depositing them in a little snowdrift nearby. He says, "Long ago, Coda, the Ancient One, founder of the earth, keeper of the sky, formed the world. In the beginning, the spirits of the world were wild and untamed. In time, many took physical form. Spirits of stone, spirits of water, wind, soil, birds, and creeping things. All things with form have spirit." And then he kind of gives you all a very dark look and says, "As do many formless things. But one day the bear stood up and looked around him and saw that the spirits of the world were restless and chaotic. He could not understand the endless cycles of creation and destruction. And so Bear was the first creature to speak, and with his first words he asked Coda, "Why is this so?" And Coda was pleased, and made this offer to the bear. "If you would watch and learn, then watch and learn, and you shall protect and guide the spirits of this world." Now those who praise Coda and accept this offer serve to protect the balance. Those bears became the Coden. Those who were not ready and did not wish to change remained as bears. What your people, and he looks at Galatar and Birdie, what your people call gods, my people view as disruptive forces in this world. They are not of our world. My people believe that the word God in your common tongue would apply to Coda. We follow Coda's teachings in all things. And he just kind of continues in that vein as he's cleaning his fish.
Yeah, I've never heard of Coda before. That's quite the incredible story. I knew that, our gods did not originate here, but I did not know the origins of this world.
It is a long and ancient history. I do not know all of the old tales. That would best be described by a voice, the leaders of our sanctuaries.
Do you? Where do you live? Are you a traveler? Are you far from home?
He sort of looks around at the sky and the hills and says, "I live in the mountains. I am from very far away. My people do not typically travel this far south. As your people came from the far Shiver Peaks, much further north than here, so we Kodan come from even further still, at the northernmost extremes of this world.
So
But
you.
we were driven south when the dragon rose, as were many others."
Yeah, definitely. I guess then you wouldn't know. We have a friend who is going to visit some of the Coden up north. I imagine you have not ran into her. So I am just thinking out loud right now.
He starts to put fish on little sticks and kind of lean them over the fire to cook.
So have you been around these parts for a long time, or is this area somewhat new to you as well?
This is my first experience traveling into the southern mountains, but I have been in this region for several months now.
Have you been to the dome? The dome area?
He turns and points eastward. You mean the dome rock to the east of
Yes.
here?
Mm-hmm.
I am aware of it and the abominations that live within.
I was going to ask if you have encountered anyone who calls themselves a son of Svanir.
The Svanir at the Dragon Cave grow strong. I watched them for several days. The mountain folk send emissaries to parley with them.
Oh, no.
The barbaric Grawl, the mighty Jotun, though what they discuss
Been
I cannot guess.
Do they let them leave after they speak?
Some do, some do not.
Hmm.
You don't happen to know, just kind of an off chance
oh
question.
boy.
You don't happen to know like any other entrances other than what would be considered the main entrance into the dome? Your months
That was
kind of
shockingly reasonable.
traveling around.
A persuasion check.
Of course.
Advantage because of the sage.
Sage vantage.
Knocks
Fuck.
down
Oh,
all
I am
barriers.
Wow.
rolling ass tonight. That is a 2 and a 4
Damn,
so far.
boss.
Oh,
Ooh, you hate to see
A plus
it.
7 to persuasion. God damn.
Says,
It says, fuck off, kid.
Dragon Cave. Lies within the dome. There are fissures in the ice and stone all around the dome. Whether those connect to the interior of the same caverns, I do not know.
Does he seem to be telling the truth that he doesn't know?
Make an insight check.
Wow, we are rolling hot.
Can I also, since he's talking to me, can I
Fair enough.
also jump on that insight check?
If you wish.
I am proficient in insight.
Hey.
There we go. It's not bad.
He's a bear man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hard to read.
he seems
If
to
a
have
bear
been
could
forthright so
smile.
far. Doesn't seem like he's lying.
I take it you have not been in the cave.
No.
Yeah. Take it away, Carl.
We're curious about this area, the caves and abominations, because we were sent here to deal with them. They've threatened the Norn capital, Tolbrak, the big city.
Great Lodge.
Yeah.
The dragon tips the world out of balance, and the sons of Svanir seem eager to help it. For shame. If you are here to correct that imbalance, then I wish you well.
We are here to correct that balance. As for whether or not we will be successful, no, we are going to be successful. The balance will be corrected, and I'm not even worried about it. Have you
Can
had
we
any?
ask what brought you venturing down here so far south?
My curiosity.
An insight check on that?
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
Sure. Yeah, make an insight check.
18.
Nice.
Seems legit. He seems
Huh.
very, very earnest.
Okay.
You should watch out if you go too far that way. There is a giant bird. Like
Yeah.
And there's the
it could
snow
probably pick up a
worms.
dolyak.
That's like a snow lizard thing. Yeah, it kills stuff, I guess. Got like 6 legs or something, they said.
Yeah,
That's
I've
like 2 days
encountered-
away. We saw that, but
Have you
I mean, but
encountered
then
these
there's
kind of
the-
beasts?
Yeah, didn't we
This-
hear it earlier today though, when we were like in the blizzard?
yeah, I guess
You
we
did.
did.
You
Yeah.
heard the hunting cry.
Yeah.
Oh,
He says,
food.
I have seen the Sky Mother hunting.
Hmm.
I would guess she is trying to provide for a young. They
Don't
are
touch that nest.
beautiful, graceful creatures, but dangerous when they are hungry.
Yeah, she accidentally caused an avalanche that hit a couple of them.
It was
Are very
just a little
large.
fun.
That's fine. Totally not a big deal.
We've seen another hunter of these hills.
Yeah, I have encountered the ice worm on an occasion or so, but have you encountered the creature that is like an ice worm but with legs and is way faster and kind of like pretty mean and is loud? Is that a good description?
Salamanders.
So,
They are
Salamander.
elemental creatures.
What do you call
Salamanders.
them? Salamanders.
Frost salamanders.
that kicks ass.
Elemental creatures that are ferocious hunters, best avoided when possible. Easily provoked. We do not relish their presence, but their carcasses can be useful.
Watching one eat a dolyak was an impressive hunter.
Indeed.
Walking slowly, it's a bit off topic, but I was really curious from what you said earlier. Are the dragons then just spirits that have taken shape that Coda created, or are they also something from another place?
I do not have that answer.
Hmm.
I have never seen one of the great dragons.
Okay.
I would be surprised to learn that Coda made them the way they are. It seems an odd addition to the balance of the world. The dragons are forces of chaos. Not only destruction, but strange corruption that tip the scales of the world away from balance. I do not know their nature, unfortunately.
Like out of character, do we know the dragon that is influencing these? Is it like, do we know like what it's called? Or I mean, I know it's got blue eyes, right?
Brina for sure knows that the dragon of the north, the dragon of ice, is Jormag.
That's right, Jormag.
How do you spell Jormag? I've been wondering.
Jormag.
Oh, okay.
See,
Just like it
that
sounds,
one's easy.
or
Not
sounds.
Draken's Volsig Hold.
Not bad.
Dragon's
Drink.
Draken Volsig Hold.
So is Jormag in the dome? Dravamasicold?
I
For
don't
the
think you'd
For the
fit.
first time, you see true emotion on this guy's face as he just starts a belly laugh. This massive, like, metal armor plate that he bears over his large, kind of muscular stomach just starts heaving as he is just this chuckle comes from deep in his belly. No, the great dragon would not fit in the small caverns used by these mountain-born Svanir.
Do you know if there's a way that he has any kind of like physical connection to the Sons of Svanir?
I am unsure, but I know that it can whisper to those who might listen. It is something my people struggle against in the far north.
Have any of your people been corrupted by Jormag? And perhaps changed physically as a result?
Sadly, yes. The dragon's corruption is inescapable for those who give in to its temptations.
You have never seen anyone come back?
I have never seen or heard of a Codan or a mountain-born who returned to the path of Coda after being corrupted by the dragon. No.
Does your god Koda, does Koda still talk to you all? Are you all still able to communicate with Koda at all? Or has Koda just sort of left things in the Bear's hands to keep the balance?
Our voices hear the words of Coda and interpret it for us.
Oh,
Our
I see.
claws protect our voices. These are the leaders of our sanctuaries.
Walking slowly, have you had any direct encounters with the sons?
I have met them on occasion, yes. Why?
Have I guess what was it like? What did they want anything or
They were loud and rude
yeah.
and drunk,
Oh.
but that has been my experience with most mountain-born.
Hurtful but true. That is fair. That is fair.
If you watch them for a whole week or several days, do you have an idea about how many people they have? Or do you have any idea of how many people you saw?
They do not come and go from the stronghold often. I have seen a handful enter and leave, but I could not tell you how many lie within. It does not seem like a massive structure. Perhaps less than 20.
It's good to
Shit.
know. Very helpful. Thank you.
And do you have any idea of what their patrols look like outside of the cavern?
I have not seen the Svanir patrolling the area nearby. They tend to stay holed up within their caverns. until they emerge to wreak some havoc.
Then maybe we do just go and light shit up. Maybe we do go in guns blazing.
Well, you said 20 or so? You know I can take out at least half of that.
We're very flammable.
Would you like to make camp here with us tonight, Kota, after you eat? You're welcome to stay here. Slowly walking, you're welcome to stay here.
Thank you. I believe I will. Though I will be gone before the sunrise.
That is fair.
Well, if I don't have a chance to talk to you in the morning, would you mind if I contacted you sometime? I can sort of do that through magic if you wouldn't mind.
Here, take a card.
Give me a sec. I gotta wait
Make
for them to
a persuasion
respond.
check.
Oh no, a persuasion check. Don't do that to me, boss. Which one's the persuasion? Oh yeah, it's that negative one. There.
Oh, it's that negative one. Oh,
At 20.
Hey!
Hey!
wait, were you supposed to roll with
Was it
Oh,
advantage?
no, it double rolled, so that's a 5.
Oh
Oh.
shit, that's right. I just realized that.
Oh, no, oh, it double rolled because the Belt of Dwarven Kind gives me advantage for dwarves, but D&D Beyond just reads it as advantage.
Ah.
That's why.
Does this count as a dwarf?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
is he
a
a
tall
dwarf?
bear.
Are you rocking a beard?
I
Did
like
we
to think
ever
he
address
shaves it every
that?
morning,
think
but
so.
yeah, essentially he has to cut it every morning.
I do like
Birdie
to
made
think that
fun
you
of
shave
him
it
for looking
every
homeless
day.
or something.
What'd you say?
I think Birdie made fun of you for looking homeless at one point, so I'm pretty sure you have a beard.
I
No,
keep
he's
forgetting
been
we have
shaving
that
it every
belt.
day. Birdie made the comment. He's been shaving it every day since. He thought it would be like a full beard, but then it was kind of scraggly. Not really his style.
I like to think that you wake up every day and shave it like clean faced and wake up the next day and it's just bad.
Well, I guess you have to roll for it to become a beard, right? Because it doesn't always do
50%
that.
chance or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Garog tried for
Some days harder
20,000
than
years.
others.
Wrong.
So
Speaking, we gotta talk about that episode after this. An
he
episode.
just says, if our paths were to cross, I would not be disappointed. But messages unsought for
Hmm.
would disturb my hunting.
Of course.
Yeah, it's really weird when you guys just start talking in people's heads.
Yeah.
People don't really like that.
Well, walking slowly.
Birdie loves
If
it.
you
I don't know what
if you ever need to get a hold of us, I'll reach in my kind of side pocket. Here, you can have one of our cards. If the Coden people are ever in need of services for groups like ours, or if you ever need to find us.
Out, and he pinches it between his thumb and foreclaw. Takes it, kind of like holds it up to the light, turns it around, gives it a look like, all right, whatever this is, and just sort of tucks it behind the armor plate on his belly. Nods. And just starts digging into his fish, which are done at this point.
Hey, if you are leaving before dawn, where are you going next? Do you have a plan for your travels or going where
5-year plan.
Coda takes you?
I listen to the wind, and I go where it leads me,
I like that.
as do I.
Our friend Erstegalken is heading north to speak with your people about possibly aiding us if there is a conflict to come. Do you think that is a worthwhile pursuit? Also, my brother is there. He's great. Different brother.
I know this name. Stegulkin is known among my people. if they organize to oppose the dragon, I would not be surprised to see many Coden sanctuaries join in that fight.
Good. Good.
He sits and eats his fish kind of quietly, doesn't really engage much in conversation, but does a lot of watching and listening. As the sun drops below the horizon, darkness settles in. You don't feel a difference in the temperature change. It stays nice and warm, and his staff is kind of giving off a nice little dim light around it. And he just kind of like crunches down a little deeper in the snow, forming almost like a big lazy armchair,
Hmm.
and just sort of like snuggles in and leans back a little bit, kind of crosses his arms, and just says, "If you would like to rest, Coda's flame will warn us if any danger approaches."
That would be
Seems
greatly
legit.
appreciated.
Sounds great to me.
As long
Let's
as
all
you
just get some
remain
sleep.
nearby, you should stay warm and safe.
Well, I love warm and safe, so I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah, me too. That's why we ventured out several days into the cold mountains.
Because we love it
It's warm
cold.
right
Because
now.
I love warm and safe.
This family.
You guys all settle down to sleep. Is there something you want to say, Kala?
I think we should still set a watch.
Not the whole
I was honestly, I'm glad somebody said it. I'll take a, yeah.
It's no offense to you. Walking slowly, I tend to be kind of paranoid.
Yeah, and I got a lot of valuable ascots. You never know who's gonna,
Well, Kolo usually keeps us alive. Bertie keeps us fashionable. And
The
alive.
wise
and alive.
practice.
Thank you.
Dangerous here in the high mountains. Keeping a watch is always wise.
All right, I'll take first watch.
Okay.
I can take second.
Okay. First,
Third.
second, third.
I'll go fourth.
Okay. Birdie,
Yes.
you set up for your watch, and during your watch, walking slowly is sitting very comfortably and very quietly, but his eyes don't close. He just
Staring
sort
at
of
each
sits.
other.
He doesn't so much as look at you as he looks up at the sky. And as your watch kind of wears away, about the middle of the second hour, you notice that the sky, the clouds have started to kind of clear out a little bit, and you start to see the twinkle of stars. And he doesn't really make conversation. If there's anything you wish to say to him, you may, but otherwise.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Second watch, I think, was Brina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perception. 12.
Yeah, you're
Eyes
kind
like
of
a hawk.
enthralled by this large creature's presence. Like you've
Oh,
been
yeah.
around big people all your life, or you've usually been, especially over the last couple of years, the biggest person around. And this guy makes you feel like a child. It's so big, his physicality. And as you wake and kind of take your watch and get closer to the fire, he nods at you and smiles a little bit, and then goes back to looking at the sky. And during your watch, the clouds clear out just a little bit more. You see more stars start to become visible, and the moon finally kind of breaks out a little bit, and you see that the snow around you is illuminated somewhat, and it's actually quite easy to see around you now because of all this fresh white snow. It's a kind of an enchanting scene. And he just sits quietly.
Hey, walking slowly. Are you asleep?
No.
Do you sleep?
I do.
Like tonight, are you going to sleep or are you just like,
Probably.
okay. Hey, walking slowly. What do you Coden believe? What do you believe happens to you all when you die? Where do you go?
When our bodies are no longer of use, our spirits return to Coda and are united within her flame.
I believe we return to the spirits as well. And that is not a bad thing.
Of all the peoples that walk this world, save only the Coda, you and your people are the closest to the spirits of the wild and maintaining the balance as Coda intended.
I like to think so. I like to think so. Go to sleep if you want. I will keep watch.
He laughs softly, just a couple of chuckles. You see him kind of like shift a little bit deeper into the snow, and his head starts to bow as he nods off.
I just go, good night. Sleep.
All right. Next was Kala. $13. You two, like when you wake up, you notice that the moon is out and the snow is kind of glowing, a dark kind of bluish white. It's a little easier to see things now. There's no snow in the air obscuring your vision. The stars have kind of come out, and you start to notice the faint kind of rippling in the atmosphere as the aurora makes its presence known. It's not very bright tonight, so at first it's kind of hard to tell that's what's going on, but eventually there are just faint kind of spectral curtains dancing across the sky. You hear the rest of your party snoring and grumbling and turning in their sleep, and the very deep, very slow breathing of walking slowly.
All right.
You go wake up Kitri. And Kitri, when you wake up, you also see this very faint aurora in the sky and more stars. The clouds have almost completely cleared out now. Every now and then one kind of drifts across the moon and it gets dim for a little bit and then brightens back up. It's very, very cold. Your breath is coming out in like thick clouds, but within this area near this staff, it's quite comfortable.
Perception, right?
Mhm.
Ooh.
24. You notice that about an hour before dawn, Walking Slowly's eyes are open. He is awake, and he just hasn't moved or spoken, but his breathing is still like the deep, rhythmic breath of sleep. And you can see him kind of looking around, glancing about the camp, and he doesn't notice that you've noticed he is awake. And he just sort of looks around. You see like a small grin kind of cross his face, insofar as his bear-shaped head can grin. Eventually, as you kind of shift your position a little bit, he notices that you are looking at him, and he turns his head noticeably towards you and sits up in his seat, kind of stretches his long, furred, muscular arms, and takes hold of his staff and uses it to pull himself up. The staff itself does not move. It is like stuck in place. But he rises very slowly, trying to prevent his armor from clanking or making any noise. sort of shakes himself off a little bit, grabs a big paw full of snow, and sort of rubs it on his face, shakes his head, little snowflakes fall off. Takes his staff, pulls on it sharply, and it almost pops out of the snow, and the light is extinguished from it. And just for a moment, you can kind of see the outline of these sigils that had been glowing, and then they just sort of disappear, and it's just a smooth wooden staff. He goes over to the fire, what remains of it, kneels down, starts to kind of pack up what fish he's cooked that he hasn't eaten, ties it in his little net, and affixes that to the end of the staff. Comes over with two very long but very slow strides to you, plants his staff gently at his side, and takes a knee to get down on eye level with you,
Oh God.
and just says, "Tell your companions I wish them luck."
I will. Safest travels.
And to you. Stands up and he just very slowly, quietly starts to make his way through the snow. You don't actually hear the snow crunching underneath his feet, but he makes his way off into the trees and he's very quickly kind of gone from your sight.
I feel like we met a cryptid. I'm obsessed with him.
Can we take a short bio break?
I have to
was
pee
just gonna
so
say,
bad.
This is you guys wake up from a long rest as the sun is cresting over the hills, and I'll stop the recording here. We'll take a bio break and come back in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Ad break.
That sage plant was the perfect gift.
Clutch
I'm
plant.
picking up another
well done.
because that's the perfect gift.
That was well done. It's, I think, like not TSA approved as far as like, what is it, bio?
Everybody speaks.
Terrorism?
Not everybody speaks common, but everybody speaks sage.
Jesus,
That's what I'll
Sage.
say.
I'm leaving.
Jeez.